ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ समस्तब्रह्मविद्या आचार्येभ्यो नमः, ऋषिभ्यो नमः, मुनिभ्यो नमः, गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ श्री वेदव्यास सद्गुरवे नमः, वैशम्पायन सद्गुरवे नमः, याज्ञवल्क्य सद्गुरवे नमः, आद्यशङ्कर सद्गुरवे नमः, अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। 5 minutes पारायणम् सदाचार प्रदर्शनम ब्रह्मानंदानुभव. That is the 10th anuvaka in the Bhruguvalli Taittiriya Upanishad, the last one we chant. Om न कंचन वसतौ प्रत्याचक्षेत तद्व्रतं तस्माद् यया कया च विधया बह्वन्नं प्राप्नुयात् अराध्यस्मा अन्नमित्याचक्षते एतद्वै मुखतोऽन्नगं राद्धं मुखतोऽस्मा अन्नगं राध्यते एतद्वै मध्यतोऽन्नगं राद्धं मध्यतोऽस्मा अन्नगं राध्यते एतद्वा अन्ततोऽन्नगं राद्धं अन्ततोऽस्मा अन्नगं राध्यते य एवं वेद क्षेम इति वाचे योगक्षेम इति प्राणापानयोः कर्मेति हस्तयोः गतिरिति पादयोः विमुक्तिरिति पायौ इति मानुषे समाज्ञाः अथ दैवीः तृप्तिरिति वृष्टौ बलमिति विद्युते यश इति पशुषु ज्योतिरिति नक्षत्रेषु प्रजातिरमृतमानन्द इत्युपस्थे सर्वमित्याकाशे तत्प्रतिष्ठेत्युपासेत प्रतिष्ठावान् भवते तन्मह इत्युपासेत महान् भवते तन्मन इत्युपासेत मानवान् भवते तन्नम इत्युपासेत नम्यन्ते स्मै दे कामाः तद्ब्रह्मेत्युपासेत ब्रह्मवान् भवते तद्ब्रह्मणः परिमर इत्युपासेत पर्येण म्रियन्ते द्विषन्तः सपत्नाः पर्ये प्रिया भ्रातृव्याः स यश्चायं पुरुषे यश्चासावादित्ये स एकः स य एवंविद् अस्माल्लोकात् प्रेत्य एतमन्नमयमात्मानमुपसंक्रम्य एतं प्राणमयमात्मानमुपसंक्रम्य एतं मनोमयमात्मानमुपसंक्रम्य एतं विज्ञानमयमात्मानमुपसंक्रम्य एतमानन्दमयमात्मानमुपसंक्रम्य इमान् लोकान् कामान्निकामरोऽप्यनुसञ्चरन् एतत् सामगायन्नास्ते हा वो हा वो हा वो अहमन्नमहमन्नमहमन्नम् अहमन्नादो अहमन्नादो अहमन्नादः अहग्गश्लोककृदः गश्लोककृदः गश्लोककृत् अहमस्मि प्रथमजारुतास्य पूर्वं देवेभ्यो अमृतस्य न भाई यो मा ददाति स इदेव मा वाह अहमन्नमन्नमदन्तमाद्मि अहं विश्वं भुवनमभ्यभवाम सुवर्णज्योतिः य एवं वेद इत्युपनिषद। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ अथ श्रीकृष्ण यजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय आरण्यक अन्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद। ॐ यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदं धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः। यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं। तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते। अथ प्रथमा शिक्षा वल्ली प्रथमोऽनुवाकः शान्तिमन्त्रः। ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतो तद्वक्तारमवतो अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ अथ चतुर्थोऽनुवाकः। ॐ यश्छन्दसां वृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् सम्बभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतु अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणं जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्यां भूरिविश्रुवं ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया पिहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Let us salute the entire Rishimuni Guru Devata Parampara, Shri Vedavyasa Bhagavan, Shri Agneyavalkya Bhagavan, Shri Vaishambhayana Bhagavan, Shri Adi Shankara Bhagavan. We are here attempting to understand the beautiful theme that is presented to us in the Upanishads, the theme of Mukti giving Brahma Vidya, the Lakshana of the Brahma Vidya, the sadhana for the Brahma Vidya. Slowly developing the topic in this particular Taittiriya Upanishad of Krishna Yajurveda, Taittiriya Aranyaka. We have come up to the invocation from the Vishwarupa, from Sarva Kameshwara, Sarva Parameshwara, Omkara Rupa, Omkara Nama Vidyeya, Paramatma. We are here praying to him to bless us with MEDHA as well as SHREE. So for the MEDHA Kama, he should do the japa of this mantra. And this mantra's meaning, along with Bhashyam, while trying to understand, we have seen the half portion of it. Yaha Chandasam Rushabha Vishwarupaha Chandobhyaha Adi Amrutat Sambhavuva Samendro Medhaya Sprunotu. Amrutasya Deva Dharano Bhuyasam. Up to this visa. Now in this next second portion, the mantra goes like this. Shariram me vicharshanam jihva me madhumattama karna bhori vishruvam brahmanah koshosi medhaya pihitaha shrutam me gopaya. Each of these lines have the deep purpose to gain as blessings from Paramatma for our spiritual sadhana. Therefore, they need to be so deeply understood, they need to be so deeply felt, and with that feeling, one has to definitely or surely do the prayer and prarthana to the Paramatma, so that certainly we are blessed with these most important divine qualities, both for the worldly vyavahara as well as spiritual unfoldment. The first one in this sequence is Shariram me Vicharshanam. Vigata Charshanam. Charshanam means decaying, dissolving, or disintegrating. Vicharshana means Vigata Charshana. Let there not be any decaying, dissolving, or dissolution or disintegration of me shariram. My body may not have the disintegration. As long as I am there, I am there, the Ayu is there, the entire body be full of integration, so that my Adhyatmic sadhana is not disturbed. So here the disintegration includes what? Any part anywhere of the deha when it is not in line with all other parts and total deha, which is called as disease. When it comes, we will not be able to do any of our adhyatmika sadhana. Whole attention goes for it. Misery is so much there. Dukkha. Therefore, may shariram be vicharshana. In that vicharshana of the body, every part is fit and what do you say? Every part is fit, every part is healthy, every part is strong, and each of the parts are so in coordination with each other that there is always effortlessness, burdenlessness, painlessness, tensionlessness, stress or strainlessness with regard to the body. To put it in short, as if the body should be flying in the air. To such an extent, the comfort of the body, the lightness of the body, the health of the body be there, so that the deha is not at all an issue. If this prayer is not done and if the due cares are not taken, then most of our time attention goes only in holding on to the body, maintaining the body, managing the body. There are two aspects in the Vicharshanatva of the Sharira. One is health aspect, strength aspect, that anyway it is prayed, always required. Second aspect is what? Ki, this Sharira should be so fit for me, for all my sadhana. Means what? I must be going to the Guru's Gurukula and sit there. So when I have to sit for a few hours, the body should not trouble or become a obstacle. Any of the seva or the work the Guru comes, the body should not pull me down from that work because of laziness. So the laziness of the body, non-energiness of the body, any demands of the body, none of them should distract me from my work, from my sadhana. May shariram be vicharshanam. So, in whatever the way the body is to be used for the sadhana, by the Guru's orders, if I have to do seva, and by my own sadhana, whatever I want to do, the Sharira should be fully, flexibly available to me with all its strengths, with all its health, at every limb of the body. From the tip of the head to the toe of the palm, everything should be vicharshana. Every part of it. Otherwise, what happens because the wrong foods eaten, because of the excessive efforts or the exhaustions done, because of non-exercises, etc., any part will have a problem. Right from the knees onward, thighs onward, the main problem will be the back, because you have to sit for hours together for study and sadhana. The neck problem will be there. All of that may not happen. So for that, whatever the good food exercise required should reach me, I should consume it, I should do it, and may I remain healthy. And from any of the outer sources also. The air pollution, the water pollution, the food pollution, the body may not become charshana yukta. So too, some of the things are some natural calamities, some accidents. कुछ भी हो जाए, शरीर को दुख आ जाए, तो फिर बाद में साधना नहीं हो सकता. So there is no natural calamities, there are no accidents, there are no problems coming to the Deha from any of the winds or the waters or the other people. And me also should not stupidly act to destroy my body. Body from within also should have the good prarabdha, good coordination, good integration between every part, so that the body is vicharshadam. And having health itself is a joy, is it not? Then using that healthy body for any achievement in the world also makes that achievement greater, easier. Same Sharira health, when it is there for long time, when we can live healthily, then in this very life only, keep on becoming matured without making the body as an issue, focusing on our main goal of knowing the truth. We can make a long, long leaps in our journey to spiritual goal. Who knows, in this very life only one can achieve also. And the one who is fit in all aspects to achieve it, just because of the charshanam of the deha, he may not be able to accomplish. Therefore, let this body be not an obstacle in my path. Shariram me vicharshanam. Some people have the heaviness of the body, they can't do sadhana. Very leanness or thinness or the weaknesses are there of the deha. Some are by birth only having some abnormalities. Some people in between because of prarabdha, exactly the time they want to do sadhana, तभी जाकर के कुछ ना कुछ गड़बड़ होता है. Generally it is healthy, but when you have to do sadhana, तभी stomach ache होता है. Is it not? So all of them should not be there. And Shariram Vicharsham include the Prana Shakti, where the energy level also always complete and full. That if we have taken up a study of 2-3 hours, we should be able to do it without any inner and outer problems or distractions. In this way, Shariram me Vicharshanam is the meaning. So what Bhagavan said here was, Shariram me mama Vicharshanam means Vichakshanam means Yogyam iti etato. All the time it should be yogya. One of the biggest problem of the sharira is it is lazy. So that laziness of the body will not allow us to get up in the morning and make use of that beautiful hours for our meditation. So too the same they have, because too much of tiredness doesn't go to sleep uh, on time in the evenings. That also is a problem. So right time sleep, right time getting up, full of that sattva guna, every part of the body should be there in such a way. It is not at all felt burden or heavy anywhere. That's called all that put together in one word by Bhagavan Shankara as yogyam. So vicharshanam, vichakshanam, yogyam. Iti etat, may the body be yogya. And in this, there is our commitment, our effort also. Ki I will keep my body yogya for my sadhana by giving it what is required, not giving it what is not required. That in Gita, yukta ahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. Ahara, vihara, cheshta, karma and swapnavabodha. Food, movements, activities, rest, all of them when they are yukta or steadfast, then the body is yuktam, body is yogyam. And yesterday we saw in Bhagavatam toward the end what type of the food if taken, what exactly happens to the deha, thereafter the mana, ityadi. So the satvika ahara sevanam, all of that, if we can make it a habit and protect our deha and make it conducive as sadhana, it's always good. Bhojanam of tamasic rasic taken up, and the body accordingly only it responds. Then because of the tamasic food, the excessive nidra, because of rasic food, body is always in a some sort of acidity or heat or heaviness. How can we do any of our sadhana? We can never do. Biggest problem for Adhyatmic sadhana is Deha Tadatmya, including mismanagement of the Deha. Only when the Deha is managed with its Vicharshanam or the health, that thereafter we can detach from Deha Tadatmya, then focus exclusively on our Antakarana for the clear understanding about the truth, and then transcending the Antakarana to establishing that. Therefore, Shariram me Vicharshanam is a long, it's a beautiful prayer we have to have. So long life, healthy life, energetic life of the body with all the facilities in the deha helping us for our spiritual sadhana, not becoming a distraction or obstruction, or a disturbance or obstruction. Second one is the most important one. Jihva me madhumattama. May my jihva be madhumattama. What is explanation given here? Jihva me madhumattama madhumati. May my speech be, tongue be full of that sweetness. How much? Atishayena madhura bhashini tyartaha. It should be atishayena, atiyavi extremely madhura bhashini, be the speaker of only the madhura or the madhurya. This is our prayer as well as this is our sankalpa, drudha nishchaya, as well as our prayatnam and our achievement. There is no moment in our day or the night where the madhura bhashanam of our mouth is forgotten by us. Dekho, so many times about this topic in different contexts also we studied. Ki it is the 2-3 inches tongue which is the one which can make, if rightly used, entire world our friend, our beloveds, our own helpers. Only this tongue. With this tongue, you can make a Raja also is conducive, convenient to you. Mantri also convenient to you. Every king in the, everybody in the world can be made favorable to us by rightly using this tongue. कितना है इसके साइज 3 इंच बस. And same tongue is enough for creating the wars international, the fightings within any of the system, even all the quarrels between the family member, the wife and husband, all of that happen only because of these 3 inches thing called a jihva. We must understand it. And it is the mismanagement or non-training given to the tongue because of which it becomes bitter and it hurts the people. Therefore, the entire our mind is disturbed, their mind is disturbed, mutual relation is disturbed. Now, with such a disturbed mind, how can we do sadhana? Jihvamaya madhumattama. Now, this one or two things what we can understand is one is as our Manusmriti Shastra say. There are 4-5 principles regarding the speech they talk. One is Satyam Bruyat. Second is Priyam Bruyat. Third is Na Bruyat Satyam Apriyam. Then fourth one is what? Asatyam Kadachidapi Na Bruyat. Satyam Priyam. So, Satyam Bruyat is what? It is always better to speak truth. Best to speak truth. There should be no alternative. How that truth should be spoken, Priyam Bruyat. Add the nectarine language and tone and tune, even though it is truth. Na Bruyat Satyam Apriyam means what? Satyam should never be spoken Apriya Rupena, Katu Rupena in a curt manner. Because it is truth, but if it hurts the person, then your contribution of conveying the truth to that person is troubled or disturbed. That fellow will not accept the truth you are speaking, the advice you are giving, the knowledge you are giving. He will not mind that. He will only feel the hurtness which was expressed in those words. Then he will deny all this knowledge. Then instead of receiving that knowledge and acknowledging with respect, he will only feel bad and acknowledge the badness only. He will only become inimical to us. Therefore, let it be Satyam, but na bruyat Satyam Apriyam. Satyam we have to speak, but it should not be Apriya. What is Apriya? The bringing right language, right tone, right tune and saying. And sometimes, even if it is Satya, be attentive. If we are not called for, if we are not valued, if we are not given importance, then just stay aloof rather than trying to speak it out. We enter into a soup. And people won't like in today's world to speak truth. Like if I speak truths about our regularity, irregularity, sincerity, insincerity, it is a truth. And there is no biasness, there is no ill feeling in saying. But though it is truth, if you have not asked me, if I just take initiative and say, you will say only one thing, आपको किसने पूछा स्वामी? You will not say आपने सत्य बोला हमको स्वीकार है. You कहेंगे किसने पूछा आपको? Because I know Satyam, But you may not like it to be told. You may not want it to be told. दो इट इज सत्य, हर जगह बोलना नहीं चाहिए, नहीं कोई जरूरत ही, कोई पूछता ही नहीं, कोई आजकल कोई सुनने को नहीं है तैयार। सत्य कहो, ज्ञान कहो, सलाह कहो। वन ऑफ द बिटर मोस्ट थिंग इन आवर लाइफ इज द ट्रबल समथिंग इज गिविंग सलाह एडवाइस unasked. More than this, nothing makes us inimical by the people. Whether it is children or anybody, bina puche when we wag our tongue and go on giving advices, suggestions, nobody likes it. So, when asked to speak truth, then do it sweetly. Then never speak truth also in a courteous manner. And if that is not asked for, not called for, that's truth also we need not speak. Because if it is not received or it's not accepted, then it just boomerangs only. Then there are three people with whom we have to speak in our life. Those are younger than us, those are equivalent to us, those are elder to us. Is it not? Towards the youngers, always they speak of love, speech of love, speech of kindness, compassion, and concern, and always should be speech of advice, encouragement, and a speech of forgiveness only should come out of us. Because they are just growing. When any plant or anything grows, more care has to be taken towards it than when it grows. When it grows, you can be careless. We can less care you can take. But when the plant is growing in the beginning, so much careful we have to be. Anything done by which the growth of that plant is thwarted, disturbed, is a crime from our side. In the same way, when the children or the youngsters or the people who have just begun any of the fields work, when they are growing at that time, they need our love, they need our forgiveness, they need our compassion. Love and compassion to give them advice or a helping hand, etc. Forgiveness for whatever the mistakes, knowingly, unknowingly, consciously, unconsciously, they do it. Only that language of kshama, that language of inspiration, encouragement, and prema. Never ever the language of discouragement or demoralization or too much of finding faults with them, or what do you say, कहना उनके मुख पे भी कि तुमसे नहीं हो सकता, तुम नहीं कर सकते. None of this language toward the youngsters throughout life we should speak. That is a promise we have to do to ourselves. And even if they are youngsters, if the habit of addressing them respectfully done, then it goes in a long way to increase the good relation between those youngsters and us. They will seek the advice, help from us. In fact, they acknowledge it, they practice it, they get benefit out of it. So it is called as Jihva me Madhumattama. Then when the people are equivalent, always the language of cooperation, language of friendliness, language of acceptance, language of ready to understand each other and help each other. That sort of thing should be there throughout our mouth expressed when the people are equivalent to us. Both important because we need their support also in our life. Then when it becomes elder, when it comes to elders, whether parents kaho ya guru acharya kaho, even some are elder by position, profession kaho. Like positional elderliness is he is a boss, you are a subordinate. Position and professional elderliness so is a manager, you are the just a lower person. Richness by elder is rich person. Political power elderliness is somebody. So too somebody is elder by jnanam. And some many are elder by the age. So in the talk again toward them is always respect and reverence. Let's not use the word nahi nahi, tumko nahi malum, aapko nahi malum. You use karna hi nahi. More important is what? Let us not involve in argument with any one of them, whether youngsters or equivalents or elders, especially with the elders. That principle which we spoke in another context, key, whatever the elders speak is correct and true, and we have to accept it. There is no other thing. Even if it is untrue, etc., let the time take care of it, let the Lord take care of it, let it be realized by them from within. That should be the attitude. We should never hurt the elders, insult the elders by talking to them in a tone of educating them. you know, saying that you don't know or trying to teach them or educating them is the most painful thing, and you can't argue. The best is what elder says. Boss is always right. Rule one, rule two. If at all any doubt, rule refer to the rule one. This should be the attitude towards elders with the speech. Else, their grace, blessings, advice, guidance, we deny when they are not happy with us because of our mismanagement of the tongue. So to the people who are equivalent to us, colleagues, साथ में रहने से काम होता है, मिलने से काम होता है. So we have to always keep them in our own good contact that is dependent on the way we speak to them. So too with the youngsters, always in a manner of value, respect. When you speak the words of encouragement, they are always with us. So this is called as Jihva me Madhumatama, the two aspects of it. First one, Satyam Bruyat, Priyam Bruyat, Nam Bruyat, Satyam Apriyam, Ityadi mantras. The second one is, and this one how to address the youngsters or middle or elderly people. Then Madhumatama means what? Another one. What is the most Madhumatama in this world? Can there be anything more sweeter than Paramatma? है ही नहीं है. Therefore, Jiva me Madhumattama means what? As much as possible, talk about the God. That also talk about the glory of the God. That also the God's kindness, compassion, grace, and blessings, and also the power with which He is running the show of the entire universe. His compassion on every Jiva, you and me. Let the Nam of the Lord, let the Guna Kirtana of the Lord, let the Leela Kirtana of the Lord only, the one which should be there on our tongue. Work is over of talking, immediately the tongue should be in that Madhumattama, the nectarine ambrosia like Nama of Paramatma. In the Vedic Bhasha, Jivame Madhumattama is the tongue is sweetened by the the sweetest thing called as the Veda Mantra Ucharana, again where Paramatma Swarupa is given. That's how every day we are chanting in all our 6 classes, at least for 4-5 minutes, continuously the mantras of Bhagwan. शास्त्र में भगवत संबंधी मंत्रों का हम उच्चारण कर रहे हैं. दिस इज हाउ जिह्वा में मधुमत्तम. May it always be sweet. Else we create enmity, quarrel. Then when you are in a Gurukula, if the sweetness is not there on the speech, you may fight with the Guru himself directly, or with the other second acharyas, or with our own colleagues or students, co-students. नहीं तो गार्डन में काम करने वाले किचन में किसी ना किसी से लड़ाई होएगा. जीवा ठीक नहीं है तो फिर एक जगह लड़ाई will create problem in another place in total. Therefore, we have to be always madhumattama. So to at home also. So to wherever we are in the on the road or profession, पहले respectfully प्यार से ही बात करने का सीखना है हमको. And in other contexts of many mantras, the Vani is said to be the Bhushanam. Vak Bhushanam eva Bhushanam. Jihva me madhumattama. Then we already studied the Siksha Dhyayaha, Varnaswaraha, Matra, Valam, Sama, Santanaha. If you take the help of that also, the Jihva can be made Madhuman when we have good pakad on the language. When we have all the vocabulary, when we have the Sandhi Samasa rules, when we also know the Raga Alapa. Jiva me madhumattama. You understand? The two things they say. Tongue only they talk about. If we can control the tongue of ours and the tongue of other person, we can be successful in our life. Controlling our tongue is in terms of speech control. What to speak, what not to speak. Control of others' tongue is there it is not karmendriya, jnanendriya, it is where we are able to feed them properly. अपने जिह्वा को कंट्रोल करके दूसरों के जिह्वा को भोजन आदि के द्वारा तृप्ति करके जो हम विजय पाते हैं जीवन में सक्सेस या वॉट एवर यू सेल्फ कोऑर्डिनेशन बाय नो अदर मीन्स वी कैन अचीव. A intelligent wife lives like that. She controls her speech and he controls the tongue of the husband by giving good food and he will have so much of love for her. In this way, Jihva me Madhumattama is a very essential thing in general and particularly when we have become spiritual. As we are growing spiritually, people cannot afford or tolerate us speaking ill words, speaking abuses, speaking words of insult or sarcasm or humiliation or speaking untruth, misguidance words, speaking the words of distrust or नहीं पसंद करते. When we are not spiritual, that time also have to be careful. आध्यात्मिक में आने के बाद तो और भी ज्यादा important. So we have seen Jihva me Madhumattama Atishayena Madhuravashini iti arthaha. So among these things, whatever is understandable, appealing, note down those points and start doing. So few of the things at least good vocabulary, then sweetness in the the language, and there should be always respect and reverence, and the speech should be purposeful, fruitful, है ना? बेकार में टाइम भी वेस्ट नहीं करना. जितना बात करना उतना, वो भी जरूरत वाले, वो भी परमात्मा उसमें हो, वो भी सत्य वाले बात है, वो भी मीठा बोलकर नमस्ते बस. This is the thing which is missing in today's world. Only in the professional world of sales and purchases, that too for the professional work, the sweetness is jabardasti brought onto the speech and spoken. Apart from that, in general, talking sweetly is reducing. Therefore, talking only is reducing. So the two people travel in train together for 40 hours, same coach compartment, but उनको पता है वो ठीक बोल नहीं सकते इसलिए बोलते ही नहीं. वेरी फ्यू ना. अर्लियर तो इतना हंगामा होता था ट्रेन जर्नी में, कोई चुप होते ही नहीं थे. दे कीप ऑन टॉकिंग एंड सो मेनी स्टोरीज, सो मेनी ऑफ द लविंग थिंग. इतना मजा. अब तो everybody is mourning only in the travel because of ego, because they don't know they can't speak sweetly, or fear that how the other person takes it. इवन टू पूछो कि नाम क्या है, कहाँ से है, कहाँ जा रहे, क्या करते हैं, आजकल वो भी नॉट रिक्वायर्ड हो गया. सो ह्यूमन टू ह्यूमन टच इज लास्ट. द टच इज ओनली विद द टच स्क्रीन ऑफ द सेल फोन. ऑल इज मजाएं हम भूल रहे हैं आजकल. एनीवे, सो स्पिरिचुअली मोर इम्पोर्टेंट जिह्वा में मधुमत्तमा हो गया. नव कमस कर्णाभ्याम मीन्स श्रोत्राभ्याम with the ears. Bhuri means bahu, vishruvam means vyashruvam, shrota bhuyasam iti artha. So karnabhyam with our both ears, shrotrabhyam, bhuri vishruvam is the main mantra. Bhuri means bahu, bahu means a lot, vishruvam may be listen, vyashruvam, vishruvam is vyashruvam only, shrota bhuyasam iti artha. So karnabhyam bhuri shrota bhuyasam, may with my ears I become more and more the listener than the speaker through the mouth. So karnabhyam bhuri vishruvam. So in this also there are few things. Yesterday we touched a little of this topic. Ki 2 years Bhagavan gave us only to listen more and more. And it is by listening only in those days the knowledge is communicated. There are no printed books. There were no other ways of communication like recording and all. तो सीधा गुरु महाराज कहते थे, उनको बहुत श्रद्धा से डिसेबल सुनते थे. That's how the knowledge is conveyed. That is what is called as Shruti. Shravanat Shruti. This guru heard from his guru, he heard from his guru in this way. This guru teaching this disciple, disciples are listening. Point one is this. Second one is what? Karnabhyam bhuri vishram means what? Ki we should never imagine with some information here and there that we got all the knowledge. Knowledge has its own depth, knowledge has its own expansion and width, knowledge has its own varieties and angles to look at. बात तो एक ही होती है, लेकिन इसको बहुत एंगल से देख सकते हैं, बहुत विस्तार से देख सकते हैं, बहुत डीपली देख सकते हैं, और उसका यूज भी ऐसा हम कर सकते हैं ज्ञान का. अगर कोई विषय मैंने जान लिया ऐसा करके रुकना नहीं. अगेन एंड अगेन वी हैव टू लिसन. Even if I have made coffee or tea from last 20 years, still there are many new techniques that can be there to improve upon the preparation of the coffee. Is it not? A very beautiful techniques are there. You make a coffee, when the milk is boiled, that time you have coffee, taste is different. पहले डालकर मिलाओ तो अलग टेस्ट होता है. फिल्टर करके 1 घंटा आप उसको भिगो के रखोगे तो उसका टेस्ट मिलना अलग होता है वो. Everyone has its own way. Everything in this world. What happens in our life is, after some listening, we become so arrogant that we have known that thing, and we start becoming speaker to others, try to advise unasked. And when others or elders try to explain to us, we become stagnant by saying कि मैं जानता हूँ. Like to many of us, it happens in the class because regularly we are studying. So many things are repeated. Many things are repeated, almost 30-40%, even more. Then many of us have this tendency कि हम सुन चुके हैं. इसलिए वहाँ माइंड क्या होता है, इट बिकम्स डिसरेस्पेक्टफुल, केयरलेस एंड नॉन अटेंटिव. बिकॉज द नॉन अटेंटिवनेस पहले का बाद में वाला विषय भी मिस होता है. एंड वी फॉरगेट इट हैज द वेदांत का एक ही तरीका है. वी हैव टू रिपीटेडली लिसन, रिपीटेडली लिसन, रिपीटेडली लिसन, as well as repeatedly contemplate. Then only the information becomes strong knowledge to come onto the surface of the intellect whenever it is required, and we'll be able to get benefit out of that jnanam. Therefore, bhuri vishwa, endless is the knowledge. Keep on the gatherer of the knowledge by keeping on listening. Karnabhyam bhuri vishwa. more and more चाहत हमको सुनने का. You all have, that's how so many Upanishads, so much of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Ramayana, Bhagavan is going on giving. And we are receiving it with our ears, and all that is entering into the heart, and it is doing its own job of repairing. Slowly it's happening. In a few months or years' time only, that strong commitments that my life is only to know the truth, for that this sadhana has to be done, that transformation is going to happen in us. All other transformations of living life normally with all the love for the people, fulfilling all the duties, all those decisions, when practiced, make our outer inner life so beautiful, make our spiritual sadhana so wonderful. All of those strong decisions are very soon going to come to us as a result of Bhuri Vishruvam. Bhuri Vishram is the only thing by which it happens. Those who don't do that, Bhuri means lots of listening. Kabhi suna, kabhi nahi suna, thoda suna, nahi suna, like the YouTube people. 10 people come, 20 come, they come, but 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, इससे नहीं होता है. शास्त्र ज्ञान, तत्व ज्ञान, सत्य ज्ञान, ज्ञान regarding dharma, ज्ञान regarding the values has to be repeatedly listened, heard. Else we forget, or the opposite of this jnanam takes possession of our heart. To curtail the entry of all the non-positive information, we have to keep on feed ourselves with the right knowledge by listening to it again and again. Karanabhyam bhuri vishram. Therefore, many Upanishads we have to listen. One Upanishad many times we have to listen. And all Upanishads and many Upanishads and one Upanishad, we have to listen from as many sources and speakers possible, so that no aspect is missed out in terms of understanding knowledge of it. That is the meaning. Then another meaning of Bhuri Vishram means lot and lot I listen means what? Only of the higher truth, and Bhuri is the Lord, Bhuri is the truth, Bhuri is the reality. About that only I listen. Not a mediocre small little things which create artha kama asakti in me. भूरी मतलब बड़े वाले चीजें. बड़े वाला कौन है? धर्म और मोक्ष है. तो करनाभ्याम भूरि विश्व मीन्स only about the truth, only about reality, only about dharma. I keep on listening. And the other terrible things about the artha kama, if you listen, they create those disturbances, agitations in us. Then again, to patiently wait, select and eliminate them consumes, wastes all our time. काय को waste करना है? This is called as Karnabhyam Bhuri Vishwa. Then another important aspect with regard to listening is what? Source is whatever it may be. If it is information, if it is knowledge, If it is useful, if it is in line with our goal, we must accept it. No, what happens many times is looking at the people as belonging to younger age, belonging to younger position or money, or even because of the younger caste, है ना, क्लान जो होते हैं ना, हम नहीं सुनना चाहते उनसे, बच्चों से क्या सुनना. It's not like that. Knowledge can express through any source. Therefore, ready to receive from anybody. Bhuri Vishwa. This Bhuri Vishwa is actually an intuitive ear. Wherein, even from the passing sentence also, we are able to get the message. They are not talking to you, they are talking to each other. Yet from that only you learn. That is called as Bhuri Vishram. The same thing we explained when we discussed Bhadram Karnevehe Shruniyama Deva. The one who is able to understand the message between the words, between the sentences, behind the sentences, he is learned the art of Bhadram Karnemi Shruniyama or Karnabhyam Bhuri Vishruvam. Said things misunderstanding is the worst thing. Said things rightly understood and behind or between the said things, what is not said or intended, if that also we are able to understand, then Bhuri Vishruvam. And the higher level of listening is what? Listening even from the silence. Silence of the Bhagavan, silence of the Guru, silence of the parents and elders. If we can listen, and if we can listen the silence of the youngsters also. मेनी टाइम मौन में रहकर लोग बहुत सिखाते हैं हमको कि हम आपसे नाराज हैं या आपसे कंप्लेंट है या आपसे कुछ चाहते हैं. दैट इज कॉल्ड भूरि विश्व. एंड द होल ट्रुथ रियलिटी इज एब्सोल्युटली साइलेंट अल्टीमेटली. तो उसमें कोई ज्ञाता ज्ञान ज्ञेय भेद also is not there. Thus, if somebody trains oneself in listening to silence, finally they can listen to the Brahma Tattva, whose sound is very silent, not aggressive speech and all, quiet and calm. So, in this way also, Karnabhyam Bhuri Vishram can be explained or understood. In short, keep on listening daily 4-5 hours हमको सत्संग सुनना ही पड़ेगा. Then only be attentive. From the dussanga, we are protected. Only after doing it for few years, that what we are listening in that satsanga, those 4 hours, slowly starts being stationary in our heart. Then only on that the manana chintana happens. Listening is not chintana. Listening is storing the thing in us, like the cow and buffalo, they take the grass. They chew, they take the grass, is not eating the grass and all. उसके बाद उसको चबाएंगे वगैरह, उसके बाद वो अंदर जाता है. In the same way, only after few years listening continuously satsanga, we protect ourselves from listening dussanga. After that few years, only that heard satsanga things start staying in our heart. Then is the chance for the next step of sadhana. If the information gathered, we dwell upon it, we think about it, we contemplate on it. अब देखो, आप इतने साल से 2 साल से सुन रहे हैं ना, कॉन्टेम्पलेशन का लेवल आया क्या, इंक्वायरी का लेवल आया क्या, अबाउट एनी ऑफ द एस्पेक्ट अभी उतना आया नहीं. वाई? बिकॉज द हर्ड थिंग हैज नॉट स्टेशनड इन द हार्ट. वाई? बिकॉज द अनवांटेड थिंग्स listening is still going on. When our listening to only this thing surpasses the other thing, and the other things are not allowed to enter, then only this thing starts staying in us. Thereafter, we can contemplate on these truths. By the way, in the Karnabhyam Bhuri Vishram, though directly not mentioned here, but indirectly we must hear, understand it, discuss is what. Let us not misuse our ears and mouth. Mouth misusing is talking anything other than Bhagavan for the people. And you misusing the ears is listening again anything other than Paramatma. Anybody comes to us, Karnabhyam Bhuri Vishram, when they want to say, I want to talk to you, ask them what is the subject or thing. If anything it is about third person, we should not encourage. Because unnecessary raga dveshas enter. Anything of second person means that person, he says. If there is any problem, any help required, we do. If he talks about us, any advice if he is giving, in short, listen. मोर देन दैट, चुगलियाँ सुनना किसी के बारे में वगैरह, और भौतिक विषयों के बारे में सुनना, और वो चीज़ें जिससे काम, क्रोध या राग द्वेष बढ़ते हैं, देन वी शुड नॉट। Because after these many years of study, we know we have to go near to the truth through our meditation sadhana. For that, all these are vighnam. How do we allow it? अब हम जब इस बात पे आ रहे हैं कि परमात्मा सत्य है, जगत असत्य और मिथ्या है, when the entire jagat has to be rejected as mithya, how can anything of the jagat give an importance? That to the bad things, the negative things. एक आध बातें याद करना, आजकल थोड़ा समझ में आ रहा है मुझे, बताना भी कितने साल लगेंगे, कि दिस वर्ल्ड इज ऑलवेज लाइक दैट, filled with good or bad people and happenings continuously. In our capacity, whatever the help we can do to improve upon, we do. More than that, involving in it or commenting about it, receiving it, it only disturbs our sadhana. And all that happens through ears and through the mouth. That is why Jihvame Madhvatama, Karnabhyam Bhuri Vishram, they are going together. Is it not? We should not talk Bhautikavada to the people also. Sirf Adhyatma बोलना है, नहीं तो मुंह बंद. So when people try to speak to us, they try to tell all their life stories, all experiences. आप आपके एक्सपीरियंस काफ़ी नहीं क्या वैराग्य पाने के लिए? आपको नहीं, वो थोड़ा सुन लेना आउट ऑफ सिंपैथी, बाकी नहीं, अदर दे ईट अवे योर हेड एंड टेल एवरीथिंग एंड कंक्लूजन इज नथिंग. वेरी केयरफुल देयर एंड वेरी सॉफ्टली स्मूथली वी हैव टू डिनाई. भयंकर है, नहीं तो क्या है ना, खराब हो जाएगा दिमाग. वॉट एवर ब्यूटिफुल मिल्क लाइक ज्ञानम वी आर लिसनिंग इन शास्त्र, दे ऐड ए ड्रॉप ऑफ नींबू इन दैट, फट जाएगा दूध अंदर का. पनीर नहीं बनेगा इधर. Protect our heart from bad listening. Kama Krodha creating, Raga Dvesha creating things. No, we should not listen. Full stop. I don't want to listen. हो गया बात. No, मेरी ना उसके बारे में आपको बताना चाहता हूँ. नहीं जानना है मुझे. नहीं नहीं, आप तैयारी मेरे को नहीं चाहिए. आई नो हाउ टू लुक एट पीपल. I have only three ways to look at it. One, I am selfless and ready to help that person it is required. Second is what, I trust everyone. Third, I know in it everyone there is Bhagwan only. Fourth, if at all they are lacking in their better way of behavior, I have the infinite heart to forgive them, love them. हो गया, मैं क्लियर हूँ इसमें. अब मुझे कुछ नहीं सुनना. But is bad character, bad natured, bad tempered, I don't want to listen. Nobody is perfect in this way, that world. I don't want to condition myself. ये आगे आएगा. After 3 lines, this mantra is more elaborate. This particular topic. Hope we will remember it that time and see elaborately. So we have seen the three things. Shariram me vicharshanam. Jihva me madhumattama. Karna abhyam bhuri vishruvam. How important they are for Vyavahara as well as Sadhana. That is why in the beginning only these trainings are given. Because once we get accustomed in that communication, after a few months or years, if at all any shortcomings are there in that, it cannot be rectified. बाद में पीछे जाकर नहीं कर सकते. इसलिए शुरू से ही हमको सीखते हुए परफेक्टली आगे बढ़ना है. इन एनसीसी परेड में या कमांड दे में शुरू से, इवन इन सॉन्ग सिंगिंग और स्वरास, in the beginning only, if you get a mastery of it, you need not look back later on. Without mastering it, in a halfway mediocre way you learned it, after some time it becomes a habit, you can't come back to rectify. जैसे योगासन सीख रहे हो, शुरू से ही परफेक्टली सीखोगे ना, तो एवरी आसना यू विल पुट परफेक्टली विथ प्राणायाम और इनहेलिंग एक्सहेलिंग फॉर द रिक्वायर्ड अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम. नहीं किया ना, आधा सीखा, तो 20 years you will do, but all 20 years you do it imperfectly only, then it won't give that much result. Then we complain, मैं 20 साल से कर रहा हूँ आसनम, फिर मुझका फायदा ही नहीं हो रहा है. 20 साल से करना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है ना, ठीक करना इंपॉर्टेंट. 20 साल से वो कर रहे हो, फायदा नहीं हो रहा है, तो यू शुड हैव लॉन्ग बैक थॉट ओवर वेयर द मिस्टेक इज हैपनिंग एंड रेक्टिफाइड. नाउ यू हैव कम ए लॉन्ग वे इन रॉन्ग वे. You can't be rectified now. In the same way, in the beginning only these three. The vicharshana of the sharira, Madhumattamatva of the tongue, and also Bhuri Vishwaram, training of the ears. Keep on listening. Go on listening. Another topic we have not touched here because it may waste our time, therefore, we not talked about. If we love someone, don't speak to them, listen to them. Half of the dukkha of the people goes away if they find someone who listens to them. आजकल का दुख प्रॉब्लम है, कोई सुनने वाले नहीं है. अब ध्यान देखो, लोग इतने इंटेलिजेंट आजकल ना. यू लिसन टू देम 20 मिनट व्हेन दे टेल प्रॉब्लम. आफ्टर लिसनिंग यू अंडरस्टैंड प्रॉब्लम क्या है, अब सॉल्यूशन बताने का शुरू करो. व्हाट विल दे से, मेरे को बताए सॉल्यूशन, दे गो अवे. For them the problem is not they don't have a solution. Problem is there's nobody to listen to their dukkha. मोस्ट ऑफ द केस है उनका दुख सुना, बिकॉज सब सेल्फ सफिशिएंट है अकल में. एवरीबॉडी नोज हाउ टू सॉल्व देयर प्रॉब्लम, मोस्ट ऑफ देम टुडेस वर्ल्ड. और दे डोंट वांट टू लिसन टू सॉल्यूशन, बट दे वांट टू टेल ऑल देयर प्रॉब्लम दुख. So in that mood of compassion or love to serve others, little bit you can listen, but not beyond a limit of too much listening, troubling your own sadhana. थोड़ा सुनो, अर्जेंट होता है, इमरजेंसी होता है, उस समय थोड़ा सुन लेना. फिर कोई बात नहीं, भगवान टेक केयर, टेक दिस नाम एंड डू दिस, आई एम हेल्पिंग यू दिस वे, लेट अस गो अहेड इन दिस वे. Then this how third mantra is over. Karnabhyam Bhuri Vishwavam. Now comes the next important topic. What is that? Brahmanah Koshah Asi. Medhaya Pihitah Asi. Shrutam me Gopaya. These are the three sentences that are there. Third one is what? Brahmanah Koshah Asi. So, actually before that, Bhashyakara says, as a conclusion of these three sentences of शरीर में विचर्षणम, जिह्वा में मधुमत्तमा, कर्णाभ्याम भूरि विश्वम, उन तीनों के सम्मरी में भगवान शंकर ये बढ़िया सा बात कहते हैं. बड़े से आत्मज्ञान योग्य कार्य कारण करण संघातः अस्तु इति वाक्यार्थः. The final artha of this vakya so far is what? Our karya karana sanghata should become yogya for the atma jnana prapti. The karya, whenever we listen in Vedanta, is the Pancha Mahabhuta karya called as Sthula Deha. And whenever we talk about the karana in the Vedanta, that is about the 14 instruments. The 5 jnana karanas, 5 karma karanas, 4 antah karanas. Pure milkar 14. So the entire individuality of ours is held by these 14 karana plus deha. This is called karana. Deha is a karya, sorry. Deha is called as karya, and all these 14 instruments is called karana. So we are all karya karana sangata jiva. And this jiva having this karya karana sangata comes from the karana. That karana is called as our prarabdha, our vasana, our samskaras, our other karana sharira. उस स्टोर में से बाहर आता है, हम ये बनते हैं. So therefore this karya karana sanghata of ours means 5 karmendriyas, 5 jnanendriyas and 4 antakarana. And also this is karana sanghata. Karya is sthula deha, atma jnana yogyaha astu iti vakyartaha. It should always be yogya for atma jnana, which has got the 3 steps of listening from the Guru, contemplating and understanding, meditating and realizing. May our personality be yogya for atma jnana, not ayogya. See that beauty, each sentence is explained. Then the cumulative meaning of all that put in one sentence, our personality should be conducive for our spiritual sadhana. Anywhere not there, problem. Like check karo tire, check karo tube, check karo petrol, check karo brakes, check karo clutches. When it is said, petrol bhar do, hawa bhar do, clutches mein usme oil dalo, idea of all that is what? Let the vehicle become yogya for travel. Any part goes wrong, then unnecessarily you stop in between, entire program, maja is gone. An intelligent person, whatever the mood of travel he takes up, he manages it in such a way that he'll never have the journey problem in journey. नहीं जानने वाले, so careless they are, they don't take care of things. कुछ ना कुछ गड़बड़ हो ही जाता है हर बार ट्रैवल में. इस बार क्या प्रॉब्लम हो, इस बार बॉनेट में प्रॉब्लम, इस बार इंजन में प्रॉब्लम, इसमें कार्बोरेट में प्रॉब्लम, इस बार टायर में प्रॉब्लम, ट्यूब में प्रॉब्लम. इन द सेम वे, वेन एवर वी वांट टू डू अवर स्पिरिचुअल, कभी दिमाग काम नहीं कर रहा है, कभी दिल साफ नहीं है, कभी इंद्रियों में गड़बड़ है, कभी देह में प्रॉब्लम है, कभी मन में टेंशन है. अब इतने सारे लेकर हाउ कैन वी बिकम स्पिरिचुअल? Oh Lord, please bless me that my karya karana sanghata be conducive for my atma jnanam. May it not be disturbance. What a great prayer. This prayer you should have done 20, 30 years back. So in these 30 years, all these psychological, intellectual, sense level, body level problems would have been not there, and we would have by now thoroughly mugged up, mastered all our Upanishad jnanam in theory as well as practice. Never mind, let us pray at least from now on. That's why I gave you the target of 11,000. मेरा तो almost 1,000 हो ही गया. And then we have to pray as well as when the Lord gives such thing of the conduciveness of the personality, use it exclusively only for sadhana. And from our side also, let us be careful. Our carelessness denies us the grace of God. भगवान ने कृपा करके तबीयत अच्छा किया और हम अपने पर कृपा नहीं की, ऐसे खाना वाना खाए कि तबीयत खराब हो गई. Now that you can't blame the God. He made a good health body. Then you go for eating some nonsense and it troubles the body. Then you say भगवान ने मेरा तबीयत खराब किया और भगवान ने मेरा तबीयत ठीक नहीं रखा, इस समय क्लास में ही नहीं पाया, आ नहीं पाया. See, that maturity you have to gain, not to blame God. No more blaming the world. It's our stupidity only that we indulge in such things through sharira and indriya that it becomes troublesome for us. ये तो थोड़ा होना चाहिए. देन दिन भर टीवी देखा और पूरा दिमाग सड़ गया, अब कहते मेरे को वेदांत समझ में नहीं आ रहा. कैसा आएगा when you spoil our अंतःकरण with all that care, what can the Lord do? You will only give an idea. If you go involved in that, you get stagnant in your thinking capacity of the intellect. Your emotions become so negative, they don't go for it. If you want sleep, an hour extra sleep is better than 2 hours, 3 hours of watching TV and destroying ourselves. Now, these are not told anywhere. No, cannot be told. Should not be told, but must be known by all. So, to people whom you meet, what for we meet? No, meet a wrong person and wrong discussion happened, the mind is disturbed. इसका भगवान से क्या लेना देना? You can't blame the Lord that you disturbed my mind, therefore I'm not doing sadhana. In fact, Bhagwan already gives everything yogya only. We only make it ayogya and we blame again Paramatma or the society or the situation or anybody. We have to be little matured in our understanding and kindness, compassion as to not to blame anyone. And also let us become intelligent not to justify ourselves. What's the justification? और थोड़े साल सबके मिलने दो, और थोड़े साल मजा एंजॉय करने दो. This is how the moha maya works on our mind. This starts when you are age of 20. At the age of 20, when we are told now involve in Atma Jnana, इतना जल्दी काहे को, थोड़ा रुकने दो. Then at the age of 30, you say, अभी क्या जल्दी है, थोड़ा रुकने दो. Even when you become 40, they say not now. When you become 50, no, this is the time where I have to make bank balance, give my children everything, education, marriage, settle them. When it comes 60, just now I retired, I must enjoy for 5 years. And it comes 70, बहुत चीज़ें मैंने मिस किया जगत में, अभी मेरे पोते हो गए, तोते हो गए, तो जैसे नानी दादी एंड ऑल. When we become 80, that time also we have some more desires to fulfill, some more projects to take up, anything except spirituality. This is called moha delusion. Now, if somebody has decided at the age 20 only, by 40, 50, 60, would have been thorough. Then at that time, the one who got a bad habit of justifying and postponing goes on throughout the life, even the next life also. And think the 78 years man, if you are there, what are your thoughts if you are going to have a human life next? Some thoughts are conscious, deliberate. Some are just happening in us. I'll establish more business establishments. I'll join politics also. और I'll do this or that. अगर ऐसे विचार है 70-80 साल का, जन्म अगला मिलेगा तो यही वाला सांसारिक जीवन होगा. We can't be spiritual. Some of the people have consciously planning. When I get next life, I'll do that social service, this or that. Or I'll enjoy this or that. Or pray to God also. भगवान अगले जन्म में कम से कम मेरी बात सुनने वाला पति या पत्नी दो. Consciously, deliberately, or unconsciously, it happens. Instead of that, consciously or subconsciously, our sankalpa only should be about आध्यात्मिकता. अब भी वो एंटरटेन नहीं किया तो रिमेम्बर अगला जन्म भी गयो. मैं तो कह रहा हूँ भगवान अगले जन्म में इवन इतना भी डिले डिस्ट्रैक्शन नहीं होना है. राइट फ्रॉम डे वन ओनली पैदा होते ही बैठ के बेड में ध्यान करना शुरू. Because the quietening of mind, transcending the upadhi, requires some lives together of contemplation meditation. It just doesn't happen कि एक दिन बैठे, 2 दिन बैठे, 1 साल बैठे, 2 साल बैठे कि मन शांत हो गया कि you got the सत्व गुण, you got the clarity about the tattva, you can contemplate. ये सब just like that it won't happen. Remember this one. First of all, we have to start. We have not started. We are only gathering information. That is also half. After gathering information, getting conviction, confirmation, we have to start. After starting, please remember, it takes many lives only. Many lives to settle in meditation. No, for many reasons. Because of the subtlety, sublimity of the subject or topic. Second is what? We don't know how many of the prarabdhas will pull us to how many of the activities or different things of the world. नहीं पता. इसलिए प्रयत्न अपने तरफ से तो लगातार साधना परमात्मा को पाने में ही होना. बाकी जो होएगा देखते जाएंगे. सो ऑल दैट पुट टुगेदर इज कार्यकरण संघात आत्मज्ञान योग्य अस्तु. May my instruments of karya and karana become conducive for my atmajnana. And Bhagavan is making for us at least during the class time. That's why I really appreciate all of you, in fact. Except some occasion there you are busy, you are able to attend to the class. Karyakarana Sangata is helping. Bhagavan is helping to keep our Karyakarana intact. Bhayankar prarabdha se ek aad baar ho raha hai, otherwise we are good. More appreciable from my side of you all is your mind intellect is cooperating. The same Shraddha which was there 2 years back. Same regular sincerity. That's the one which protects us. Now remember, this is given to us by the Rishi Parampara, Guru Parampara. Thank them. Then make right use of it. So far, यश्चंद्रसां वृषभो विश्वरूपः छंदोभ्योदय अमृता संबभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतु अमृतस्य देवधारणं भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणं. पांचवा जिह्वा में मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्यां भूरि विश्वम. 7 things we have seen. Now ब्रह्मण कोशोसि मेधया पितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. They are not in the Upanishad, but in general we speak about it. So Brahmana Koshasi, now we are discussing. What is Brahmana Koshasi? Now, before that, one more sentence. Medha cha tadartam eva hi prarthyate. Not only the Karya Karana Sangatas Yogyata for Atmajnana is asked, even what Medha was asked earlier, also for Atmajnana Prapti. Okay, that we have to again specify. When the topic of Medhas is over, the topic of Karyakarana Sanghatas intactness has come. Why Shankara Bhagavan suddenly reminded us of Medha also is asked only for that? Because as much Medha is required for the Atmajnana Prapti, so much again Medha itself is the problem in the path of spirituality. When that Medhas, the memory or the knowledge or information is about anything other than Paramatma. इसलिए जस्ट लाइक इंद्रिय मनोबुद्धि इंटैक्ट होना है और उससे क्या करना है इज इम्पॉर्टेंट. सो टू वी शुड हैव द कैपेसिटी ऑफ मेधस, बट दैट मेधा शक्ति इज यूज्ड to gain which knowledge, to memorize which knowledge we should know. Is it for artha kama or is it for dharma moksha? That is why he says, Medha cha tadartham eva hi prarthyate. Even the prarthana of Medha Shakti from the Omkara Bhagavan, we asked him for tadartham. What artham? Atmajnana yogyaha. I should become. For that only it is. Not for Medha to memorize so many things as to how to succeed in the outer world or how to cheat others, how to insult or defeat others. वो भी एक अकल है, बट उसका स्पिरिचुअल में क्या फायदा है? So with this is over. Now Brahmanah Koshaha Asi. Brahmanaha means Paramatmanaha. Koshaha Asi means Asehe Iva Upalabdhi Adhishthanatvatu. So Tvam hi Brahmana Pratikam Tvai Brahma Upalabhyate. So this is a very exhaustive thing to discuss about, which may take some time. Little bit we say. The main sentence is Brahmanaha Koshaha Asi. So here, remember this entire mantra is addressed to Omkara. Omkara is He. Who is He? He is Sarva Kameshwara, therefore Parama Ishwara. He is the bestower of all the kamanas, of all the jivas, of all the time. Why is it so? Because Parama Ishwara, He is the one of all powers of Maya with Him, with which whatever we desire, they can be given. To that Omkara, who is Vrishabhaha, Chandobhya, Amrita, Sambhavuvaha, to him we are addressing. Don't forget. So to that Om it is said here, the most important topic it is, ki Tvam, hey Brahmana, Brahma in the form of Omkara, you are Brahmana Koshaha Asi. You are the Kosha for the Brahma. The two meanings of the Kosha are what? One Kosha is also Sanskrit called as is a word used for the, what do you call it in English, on the Kali jo कहते हैं हिंदी में, bud. The Kosha is called as bud also. Bud, like Hrudaya Kosham, we talk about it. Kosha is a bud. Yeah, it comes in a Padmakosha Pratikashagam Hrudayanchapyadhomukham Adho Nishtyavitastyante Nabhyam Ubaridishtati. There Bhagavan used the word Padmakosha for the bud of the lotus. So, Omkara, you are the Kosha of the Brahma. One meaning is that. Therefore, you are the bud of the Brahma. When the upasana of you are Omkara and the invocation of your blessings come, then that kosha, the budness, gets blossomed into the ultimate truth goal called as the Brahma. Therefore, what is to be understood by us? Like the prior stage of the blossomed flower is the unblossomed lotus or the bud. When the bud is given its own time and chance and respect and value, it gets blossomed. In the same way, for the blossoming of the Brahma Anubhava, which is like the blossomed the lotus, what is required is the upasana of the Omkara, which is called as the protection of this kosha or the bud. Therefore, Tvam Brahmana Kosha Asi. And never ever there is a flower without the bud. बड से ही फूल बनता है धीरे धीरे. इज इट नॉट? कली से फूल. यहाँ भी ओंकार रूपी बड का हम हर तरह का उपासना करने से वो खुल जाता है. आफ्टर द उपासना the prayer also. In this we are seeing prayer. In Mandukya we saw the upasana of Omkara. These two when they are done, that Om only gets blossomed to become a beautiful flower. When you see the bud, there is no flower. When you see the flower, where is the bud gone? So to when you are focusing on the Om, you can't see the Brahman. But when you see the Brahman after the blossoming of the Omkara, you don't need the bud because you have experienced it. This is one meaning of Brahmana Kosha Asi. Second meaning is that Kosha Iva. Kosha means Kosha Iva Ase. Kosha in other means what? Cover, case, sheath. Like the case sheath of a specs. It's called its kosha. And nowadays, anything you buy, they give the kosha. Cell phone, when especially you buy, without kosha, to girga tootega, 100 varieties are there. Now, what is the job of the kosha? Generally, when we listen about kosha, we think it is hiding it. No. It is not hiding, Baba. It is protecting it. Like when the sword is kept in the sheath, it is not, it is hidden there. It is kept to safe. One is the keeping it safely. Second is what? It is upalabdhisthana. Always chashma is kept in the case. And nobody says la ke case le aao. When the Dadaji tells the pota, beta chashma le aana. No, when that pota goes to the room, he is dunding everywhere. Nowhere chashma is seen. He comes and tells दादाजी चश्मा नहीं दिखा अरे टेबल के ऊपर उधर रखा हूँ देखो मैं ही गोस अगेन दस ढूंढ के आते हैं 10 मिनट नहीं हुआ अरे उधर जो काले रंग में है ना काले रंग में चश्मा किधर है वो तो कोश है दैट्स व्हाट आई टोल्ड यू टू ब्रिंग बिकॉज इन दैट ओनली चश्मा is it not? It is only one time. Next time when Dadaji says Chashma Lao, that fellow will bring kosha only because it is understood now that Chashma kept safely inside the kosha. That is how for all of us, ओंकार रूपी कोश में ब्रह्म तत्व आराम से छुपा कर नॉट छुपा कर रक्षा करके मतलब प्रोटेक्ट करके रखा गया है. It is like when you got the sheath, you got the sword. When you got the case, you got the specs. When you got the pen cap, we got the pen refill inside. In the same way, when you get the Om, you got Brahma because it is the kosh. Just like the case open, use the chashma, or take out the talwar from the sheath and use it. So too, make use of Omkara and get the Brahman. So here, next respect and reverence is given to the Omkara, which is Alambana for us, which is Pratika Paramatma, that you are the Kosha. So here, it's not blamed that Omkar, तुम क्या है रे कोश बनकर ब्रह्म का छुपा के रख रहे हो. Not that way. It is thanks to Omkara. Thank you, my dear Omkara. You have made safely the Brahma Tattva to stay in you. Now you brought it to me. धन्यवाद. आपने है? छुपा के क्यों लाए तुम चश्मे को केस में? ऐसा नहीं कहते दादाजी. Very good, you brought it along with case. Therefore, the specs are very safe. So there is a gratitude for दादा. अदर that लड़के ने वो चुप खोल दिया केस को फेंक दी चश्मा ऐसे पकड़ के चबा के आया दबा के लाया ले लो दादाजी करके पाउडर हो गया मानो नहीं होता ना. In the same way, we are extending gratitude to the Omkara. Sir, you are the kosha for this Brahma. You are the protecting Sita Brahma. More than that, you are the Upalabdhisthana for Brahma. Therefore, you are the Upaya for Brahma. You are the Alambana to reach Brahma. You are the Nama of the Brahma. You are the Pratika of the Brahma. You are the first expression of Brahma. From the Brahma, when the Om came Nada, from the Om only, entire world of Rupanama has come. This we have studied in all the Upanishads, all Bhagavata, the Purana earlier. So therefore, Brahmana Koshahasi. Therefore, you come to me along with Brahma inside you. Once you reach to me, you open up Omkara and then reveal the Brahma Tattva to me. For that purpose only I held you. Nobody keeps a case at home without specs in that. Nobody keeps a sheath without the sword. As much sheath is required to protect the sword, so much sword is required to be there inside the sheath. In the same way, you have brought protectingly the Brahma Tattva to us. But that's not enough. You have to open up and reveal Brahma Tattva to me. My goal is not Om. My goal is Brahma through Om. You are the Kosh of Brahma. Therefore, safely bring it to me. After bringing, open and show to me the Brahma Tattva. Hey Omkara. Hey great Chandasam Rishabha. That's how the respectful, reverential address to this Pranava. Brahmana Koshahasi. Little more is there, we'll see tomorrow. Then next one is called Medhaya Pihitaha. See, the Brahman is covered by the sheath called Omkara. Omkara is covered by the Medha. Medha means all unwanted nonsensical knowledge fully memorized by us, in which there is no Bhagavan at all. So the worldly knowledge is covering the Om. Om is a cover or sheath to the Brahma. What is that? And what we have to do there to understand as an understanding as well as sadhana, we'll touch upon. And with that, the Medha Kamana is over. Then for In the Shri Kamana, we have to do the Homa or the Havana, and further the mantras will be taught. Avahante vitanvana urvana jiramatmanah vasagansi mamagavasya annapane cha sarvada tato me shriyamavah lomasham pashabhis sahaswaha amayantu. A beautiful explanation will be there. We will see it. Now let us do one chanting of this mantra. Om Yaschandasam Rishabho Vishwarupah Chandobhyodhyamrutaat Sambhabhuva Samendro Medhaya Sprunoto Amrutasya Devadharano Bhuyasam Shariram Me Vicharshanam Jihva Me Madhumattama कर्णाभ्याम्भोरिविश्रुवं ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया विहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Today enough. I hope you have started doing the chanting. And I told you 6 5 days back. By now you must be familiar with the words. If not, try to become familiar today. Chanting them while singing, along with swara. Maybe in a week's time you should by heart it also. Then take your japamala and keep on doing. And no other suggestion I gave you more than once like this, because of the importance of this mantra. The Medha Kamana we are doing, and also the Karyakarana Sanghata intact, Atma Jnana Yogya, including Medhas. We need this prayer to practice, to invoke grace. Tabhi jaakar all obstacles go away, strengths come to us, then only we can seriously start walking the path. नहीं तो सिर्फ information लेकर भटकते रहेंगे. We should not be like that. Our group is not only information gatherers. I am not here for that. For me and for you also. We are here to do actual journey in our Adhyatmic sadhana of whatever is taught here, the Panchakosha Viveka. At least theoretically, substantial information, conviction should happen to us that I am that Brahma Tattva, whose nature is Sachidananda, Satyam Jnanam Anantam, and who is a Sakshi to the Panchakosha, having no relation at all with those Panchakosha. This much conviction, even little meditation, we should be able to do in our life. That's our purpose. Our purpose is not only mere information. साधना करने के लिए भगवद अनुग्रह चाहिए, इसलिए दिस मंत्र हैज टू बी चैंटेड. ओम यश्छंदसां वृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् सम्भवोव समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतु अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणं जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्यां भूरिविश्रुवम् ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया विहितः. ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. परम ऋषिभ्यो नमः. परब्रह्मणे नमः. श्रुतिमात्रे नमः. तत्सद्ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. Thank you, friends. Give me 10 minutes. Let us study 2 shlokas of Viduraniti.